Okay, here's some best practices for unit conversion. Last year, my students made a lot of mistakes, careless mistakes, and so these guidelines are meant to try to help you prevent from that. So number one, start with what is given. For example, if you had, 8 centimeters, 8 inches equals how many centimeters? What's given is the 8 inches, so you start with that. If the given is something that has units in the numerator and denominator, for example, 40 miles per hour, that has, right here, 40 miles per hour, it's miles per hour. So the per means that it's divided by. So the miles should be on the numerator and the hours should be in the denominator. So make sure you put them in the correct place. 3, then you set up the units for the conversions. Do not put the numbers in yet, okay? 4, make sure that the units cancel and leave the desired outputs. So for 8 inches equals how many centimeters? Once you set that, make sure that the units cancel, and so the output's going to be in centimeters. Double check that before you start doing the math. 5, make sure that you write the units clearly so that it's clear what is in the numerators and what is in the denominators. That was probably the most common mistakes, is either somebody put miles per hour, put the hours in the numerator, or they just weren't careful about how they laid it out and they were canceling things in the wrong place. Then you add the conversion numbers, and finally you solve. So let's do a couple examples. Let's start with the example I started with. 8 inches is equal to how many centimeters? Now I'll typically give you the conversions. We know that the conversion for this is 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So when I set that up, what is given is the 8 inches. So we start with that, okay? And that's all in the numerator. So I'm just going to draw a line under that. It's divided by 1, right? 8 inches divided by 1 is just 8 inches. And then we multiply that, and now we're going to put in the conversion units. We know that we have inches in the numerator, so we're going to want inches in the denominator to cancel, okay? So we're going to have inches in the denominator, and we're going to have centimeters in the numerator, okay? And so we check this out and we say, oh yeah, let's, inches and inches are going to cancel. So then everything's nicely set up, so we can go back and we can put in the numbers. So here we have 2.54 centimeters per 1 inch, okay? So now when I solve this, my inches cancels with my inches, and then I multiply 8 times 2.54, and that's going to be 16, it's going to be 17, a little bit more than 17. I don't have my calculator out. And that's going to be in centimeters, okay? So I'll actually say approximately 17 centimeters. Okay, the next one. Let's do another example. Okay, so if I have, oops, I want that in blue. If I have, let's say 60 miles per hour, that's equal to how many feet? Let's see, how many, let's do meters. Meters per second, okay? And the conversion we're given on that is 1 mile is equal to 1609 meters. Okay, now this is something you have to be careful. MPH, the M in this stands for miles per hour. That's something that you commonly know. That is not meters, that's miles. So let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to start with what's given, 60. And remember, we put the miles on top and the hours on the bottom. Okay, then we're going to need a couple of these. Okay, so here we want to cancel the miles and we want meters on top. So we're going to have miles on the bottom and meters on top. So that's going to cancel this miles and these miles. But we're still going to, so then we're going to be with meters per hour. But we want it in seconds, not in hours. So now we need to see how we can convert hours into seconds. So what do we know? We know that there's 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Or you can say that you know that there's 60 minutes in 1 hour, and then there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Okay, so 60 times 60 is 3,600. So we know that there's 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So if we go back here, we're going to say we want the hours to cancel. So we're going to put hours on top, and then on bottom we're going to have seconds. Okay, so if we go back and look at this, we have our hours canceling with hours, we have our miles canceling with miles, and we're going to be left with meters per second. Okay, so now let's put in our numbers. So we have 1609 meters, and we have per 1 mile, and over here we have 1 hour for every 3,600 seconds. Okay, so then when we go to solve this, we have hours cancel with hours, we have miles cancel with miles, and we are left with meters per second. So you just multiply this out then, and you get your calculator out, and you multiply 60 times 1,609 times 1 divided by 3,600.